investigation. There's a lot of moving parts there. Prosecutors also said they have not found anything that led up to that beating.
Peter, can you hear me? Okay, I haven't checked email in a few minutes. You didn't send any clips, did you?
He must have resisted.
Okay, thanks.
The fact of the matter is, he did absolutely nothing.
The 5 people named in the indictment for murder are Anthony Farina, Matthew Gallagher, Christopher Walrath, David Kingsley, and Nicholas Anzalone. One murder suspect's name was redacted. All 5 of them posted bail, and they'll be back in court on March 31st. We're entering day 5 of prison workers on an unsanctioned strike in New York. Prison staff going against the procedures of their union to rally for an end to mandatory overtime and better staffing conditions. The state gave workers a warning last night. Go back to work before 11:59 p.m. or you could face disciplinary actions for abandoning post. The state brought in the National Guard and has agreed to one of the group's demands. It says it will temporarily suspend the HALT Act, which sets limits on solitary confinement for prisoners. The union representing corrections officers says this has led to increased violence in prisons. We're working to learn how many workers, if any, went back to their jobs. Irondequoit Town Supervisor Andre Evans has been censured. The town board approved the resolution last night. The only no vote came from Evans himself. The supervisor is accused of sexually harassing a former town employee. Evans denies all of these claims. The censure, not to be confused with a censor, limits Evans' interactions with staff while he's under investigation. Evans will also have to complete comprehensive management training and take anti-sexual harassment courses.
News 10 NBC on the radio. Weekdays at 5 a.m., noon, 5, 6, and 11 on the WYSL stations.
Mira la izquierda.
I'm sure you heard, but he was the only no vote. Big surprise.
In a world that seems to change daily, what will you do next? Welcome to the Next Steps Show with Peter Vasquez, a starting point for discussion y un poco de dirección.
You're on.
Buenas tardes, ladies and gentlemen. See, happy Friday. Soy yo, tu conservative Nuyorican, Peter Vasquez, and all I gotta say at the top of the show is, woo-hoo, Kat Patel got confirmed as FBI director. That is pretty darn exciting news, I'll tell you. I mean, this guy in the White House and the Oval Office, I mean, he's just working. And I'll tell you, he's chosen some phenomenal people. And this guy was a little concerned. I mean, he won by a narrow margin, or not won. He got confirmed. Excuse me. But he got confirmed nonetheless. And I have to say, I truly like what he had to say during the confirmations. And listen, 346-3000, area code 585, call us toll free 866-552-1009. Tell me what you think about Mr. Kash Patel being confirmed as the FBI director. I think that's pretty cool. You know, you probably heard it on the news coming on to the show here. This guy, Andre Evans, dude, stop. I mean, I think it's phenomenal that the town board in Irondequoit, or the Irondequoit leadership, was able to choose someone to run for supervisor. I'm glad that they were able to finally get to a point where they were able to censure the current supervisor in Irondequoit. But that dude doubled down. I mean, listen, he's got to take anti-sexual harassment courses, management courses. He's got to work from home. He's not allowed in the building. You're crazy, right? And he still insists he's going to run for town supervisor again. Now, I'll tell you what. You know, he doesn't have the Democrat endorsement this time. I'll tell you what. If he runs and he wins, listen, I'm just going to throw it all up in the air and be like, whatever, because just whatever. Irondequoit, you guys have got a lot of thinking to do. But you see, that brings me to a bigger question, though. Okay? I mean, think about this for a second, right? Because we're all pretty rational. I mean, set aside the fact that this is probably, look, I would be so humiliated I wouldn't want to show my face. I'd be like, listen, I'm going to just stay back here, stay quiet while I work through this. Right? But the guy sitting on the board, the entire board is like, I mean, talk about, what's in his head? Supervisor Andre Evans, or soon to not be Supervisor Andre Evans, it seems like you have some time in your hand now working from home. Not that working from home means that you have more time, but come on, you know how it is, right? So listen, Andre, 585-346-3000. If any listeners happen to know him, give him a call. You know, I think it's important for everyone to have an opportunity to share their side of the story. And Andre, if you get this message, or if you're listening and you do call 585-346-3000, of course we'll be cordial. We always are. This is the voice of liberty. But one big question I want to ask, and I know our listeners want to ask, why are you insisting on continuing to hold on to this position when not just everyone, but everything and reports around you are telling you, dude, mira, cállate la boca and just get out of the way? Hey, on another note, you know, this has been a busy week, really busy week. To include my, let me see, I got Johnny, I got Juliet, we've got my 2 kids in Florida, grandkids, and then a third one, or excuse me, that would be the 5th one, born just on, oh dear, Monday or Tuesday. Oh, I lost track. That's how busy this week has been. So I want to take a quick second and give a big shout out, to my son Brent and his beautiful bride Cheyenne, because they had their beautiful baby girl, my new baby granddaughter. Her name is Kinsley Rose. Isn't that beautiful? You know, I'll tell you, as a father, I sit back and I'm like, man, I'll tell you, it's a blessing. You know, I look, because of course I'm holding the baby, and my wife's like, it's my turn. And I'm like, get out of here. You're going to see her more than me. I definitely, and I wouldn't let her go, because when you hold these babies, especially newborns, and at the time she wasn't even 24 hours old yet. And, you know, you look at them, and she opened her eyes, and I had an opportunity to kind of look into her eyes, and I'm like, wow, just another reminder as to why it is that we do the things that we do. I mean, how can you look at any child's eyes and say something like, we got to fix this? This being, well, everything around us, right? But more importantly, we got to fix the culture. We got to fix the hearts. Otherwise, I mean, things seem so bleak, so bleak. So, you know, I get up in the morning, I say a little prayer, and I do my thing, and I get ready to go to work, and I get ready to come to the show, and I get ready to, you know, do family things. And I wonder that day, I says, you know, I wonder if today is going to be the day that society as a whole just kind of looks at each other and says, you know, this stuff, what we see going on, it's silly. We're just going to stop. We're going to look at each other, and we're going to thank each other, and we're going to say, I appreciate you. All right, I'll get out of my wishful thinking here. Right? Because, I mean, unfortunately, when there's love, there's always going to be hate, right? And because God is alive, and because God is real, and because God is working, and because God is all perfect, right? Well, guess what's left? Well, Satan sitting there angry, so angry, that people like you and I are like, listen, we love the beauty, and we refuse to live in the dark. Anyways, listen, hug your kids today, hug your grandkids, Brent and Cheyenne, if you're listening. And if you guys happen to see them around, meet up, say congratulations. But if you're listening, guys, I love you with all my heart. And listen, a day doesn't go by that I don't think of Brinley as well, Kingsley's sister that we lost a couple of years ago. You know, words that come out of our mouth are so important. We've talked about this so many times, right, over the years. You know, this is the 370th show, over 3 years. I tell you, blessed. But when I say that we as role models, right, that we never know who's looking or we never know, you know, what child or what individual, even if it is, you know, an adult at a distance is watching our actions and hearing the words coming out of our mouth. But, you know, when you are an elected official, that's kind of even, let me stop. Because it's not just if you're an elected official, okay? It is if you are someone who influences the person next to you, whether you realize it or not, okay? That's who I'm talking to. Now, let's look at the elected officials, which is why I said that to begin with. See, because unfortunately, elected officials are like, to some people, I'll tell you like a student of mine told me, one of my college students told me once. They said, she puts politicians on a pedestal. Oh, why would you do that? I'll tell you where I'd put the politicians. I'd put them on a shelf and be, mira, do what I tell you to do when I need you to do it. Because it's kind of their jobs. But when you've got a good portion of citizens, of the electorate saying, I put him on a pedestal, well, that means that they're also hanging on to a lot of the words that are coming out of the mouths of that individual that they have on a pedestal. Well, recently, Republican or Representative Mike Lawler, right? A good guy. I think I met him once or twice. You know, listen, he's rocking it. He's doing his thing. Like him, dislike him, don't know him, whatever. But he's handling his business, and he's in Congress, and he's doing things that he needs to do. I'm sure, I mean, he's elected, right? So I'm sure a lot of people approve, and a lot of people don't approve. You know, but he said this comment to another elected official, a Spanish guy. He said, I assume you're a citizen. Maybe you're not. Now, of course, as you can imagine, right, he or that comment was met with some significant racial bias, right? Now, I'm going to go on a limb here and say a little different than what we talked about in regards to Jeff Briggs when he dressed up as when he put on the costume for a gorilla to make a point, right? This was a direct statement that this representative made to an individual, to another elected official, right? And then later on claimed that he wasn't questioning his citizenship. And maybe he wasn't. Again, you know what? I don't know Mike. I only met him once or twice. Good enough guy. But you see, when I talk about things like, well, being a role model, you've got to ensure that you are acting and talking in a way that builds the other person. And I'll tell you, especially as a Republican or as a conservative, because see, the left will change that narrative like they did in Penfield, or they'll try. They'll quote things like, where is it? New York ranked amongst the top states for ICE. Oh, no, of course, I'm looking through my notes, right? Because I like to have them right. I like to have my notes in front of me to make sure that I'm giving you the right information. But basically, right? Basically, this elected official told another elected official, I don't know if you're illegal or not. I mean, what do you think that does to the work that we are trying to do? Mira, we'll be right back right here on the Voice of Liberty. No cambie ese dial. We'll continue that conversation. And mira, pick up that telephone y dame una llamadita. We'll be right back.
I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love.
Youth for Christ Rochester is focused on keeping kids safe and healthy. We provide a Christ-like culture in our skills and drills, Friday night or Saturday morning basketball. And we're so excited to start all 3 versions of our new God's Girls middle school.
Okay, what are you going to come back with this segment?
Ministry to one of these vital programs for city youth through
Okay.
Reach me at mhennessy@yfcrochester.org or support us online with a one-time or monthly gift. Go to yfcrochester.org/donate.
Donald Trump and conservatives may have won, but you know the left will unceasingly try to undermine society and spread evil, targeting the innocent and God-fearing, especially our children. Help promote a truth-based society and try something different in 2025. The WYSL stations can grow your business, professional practice, or organization, so allocate your ad dollars here. Reach our huge audience, entertained,
Okay.
formed by leading conservative thought. Affordable, effective. The WYSL stations, the voice of liberty. Call 585-346-3000 to advertise.
Tom Wall's team member Derek.
Tom Walls started in Avon, New York as a small town ice cream stand. And now we're still selling ice cream, but we also sell your favorite cheeseburger. From our grill to the toasted Apollo hard roll, our juicy cheeseburgers will bring a cheesy grin to your face. Somewhere, someone in the world makes the best cheeseburger. Maybe, just maybe, it's Tom Walls.
Share the good times. Tom Walls.
Coming back.
Peter Vasquez and Next Step Show on the WYSL stations.
Yep, beat up. Proverbs 11, verse 25 says, whoever brings blessings will be enriched, and one who waters will himself be watered. Isn't that just beautiful words? I mean, how can you not want to share that with a person who's struggling, be it a child or an adult? See, welcome back to the Next Step Show, ladies and gentlemen. Lines are open, see? Now, I was saying before break, when we do things like this and we take away from, the bigger narrative, right? The work that we're trying to do, what left ends up doing is that they end up doing things like quoting this, see, from the Pew Research Center, that found that Hispanic individuals are 5 times more likely to be questioned about their immigration status compared to white individuals, right? Or the New York Civil Liberties Union that shows that Latinos and blacks, New Yorkers account for 90% of police stops in comparison to their white counterparts, all having to do with immigration. But listen to that, though. Hispanic individuals are 5 times more likely to be questioned about their immigration status compared to white individuals. Lawler, I believe, well, at least he looks white. I don't know if he is. I don't think it matters. But the reason why I point that out is if you're Hispanic, not that you're going to always be a darker color, but chances are you're going to be a little tan. And if you're white, you're not. But what is the largest amount of people coming into this country illegally that are the buffoon letter? That Hocus Pocus insists on protecting, because they got protection. They have sanctuary city for abortion, sanctuary city for illegals, sanctuary city for criminals. So, I mean, really, they're moving towards pedophilia, even though they want to say they're not. But I think they are. Listen, watch what comes out of your mouth. Watch the actions that you do. If not for the fact that you may influence somebody and you're about 99.9% sure that someone is watching all the time. Remember that. Just watch what comes out of your mouth. You're leading. Don't take away from the bigger picture due to, well, frankly, stupidity or dumbness or just straight up ignorance. Think. Because now, Mike Lawler, who is a rising star, from what I can see, just shot a dart. They didn't kill him, but an unnecessary dart at himself, at the Trump agenda, or really the American values agenda, for no reason. It's not just that. It's not just that. It's these pastors who talk and do nothing. of all denominations. Mira, it's not just Catholics that are being accused of hurting kids. It's others too. Other religions too. Listen, that includes the Muslim community. Okay? Absolutely. More so. And then we wonder why people hate religion. We wonder why people hate conservatives. Pero mira, caramba. Si tú vas a decir algo like, I assume you're a citizen, maybe you're not. Or further, to take Aisha Croyd's comment the other day in regards to Jeff Briggs. If you're really going to think that it's okay to look at somebody in whatever kind of suit and think something, in the case of a gorilla, that you're a monkey, or that black, or you think black person, caramba. Maybe you should pay a little closer attention to things like, well, maybe examining abortion rights in New York. You know, a New York doctor was recently indicted for prescribing an abortion pill. Now, let me stop there for a second. It was to a Louisiana woman where it's illegal. Because remember when they stopped Roe versus Wade at the Supreme Court, they said they turned it over, which I guess it's true because they technically passed it, but it was never really something that should have been in the Constitution. But neither here nor there. I mentioned Brindy, my granddaughter who passed a couple years ago at birth, right? And we held her. The hospital let us keep her in our hands. And I remember we held her for a good 24 hours, or maybe even a little more, before we had to, before they had to take her. And I'm looking. I mean, we're talking stretched out head to toe, because I looked. She was at least 6 or 7 inches long. Her digits were there, 22 weeks, I think, almost to the day. Maybe a couple of days, maybe a day more. But she had all her digits, hands and toes, face. I mean, you would never know that this was a 22-year-old baby just by looking at it, because it looked like a baby. She looked like a baby. So, and I'm sorry if I interrupt your lunch on this, but when these pills are given to these young ladies, right, at these later weeks in the pregnancy, right, the visual is this. A young woman sitting on a toilet in her house, already devastated. And the last thing she sees is this 6 to 7 or so inch long baby that looks like a baby. All the digits, everything, just swirling around like a little turd going into the toilet. But yet they swear that they care about women. Kasioko says that she is not going to comply with Louisiana's extradition request. As a matter of fact, she quoted New York State's shield laws, which enacted after the Roe versus Wade was overturned, right? It's a robust law designated to protect abortion providers from out-of-state legal actions, prevent states and local entities from cooperating with investigations or prosecution related to abortion services that are legal. Legal in New York. Okay, let's stop, because you heard these words before. Laws, cooperating with investigations, prosecutions, the laws saying that they can't. They're doing that with ICE. I mean, again, it goes back to the culture component of things, right? Listen, in February of this year, 2025, she signed legislation bolstering protections for healthcare providers who prescribe this abortion medication to patients in states where the laws say that they can't do that. Okay, so again, this is bigger picture. New York State has a hocus pocus shit. We have a magician up here, right? This week alone, right? She told Trump she'll see him in court, amongst other things. She told Eric Adams, right? You know, basically she's going to not kick him out, but he better be a good puppet going forward because her whole thing is more oversight over him. He's an elected official. And she calls Trump the dictator. She's done no effort whatsoever to have a conversation with any of these corrections officers. None. As a matter of fact, she ran straight to the courts, and they're facing indictments. I mean, what am I missing here? She's doing all this, right? Because this is all happening now, and in February, well, she stood strong in ensuring that New York remains a sanctuary state for abortion. Yep, she sure did. Listen, whether you stand with abortion or not, whether you stand with life, I mean, whatever, man, I know that's all you. Right? But if you take the time for just 1 second and look at the numbers as they pertain to Black and brown America, and we've shared them, you may reconsider, Emita. If you're not Black or brown, right, and you're like, have abortions, which is what it really seems to be happening, remember this. Yep. It's easy to say abortions are easy when it's not your population of people that is being reduced to the point where you're not going to be around in 30 or 40 years. We'll be right back right here on the Next Step Show on La Voz de Libertad. No cambie ese dial.
You go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
God bless America.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, WLEA, WCKR FM Cornell.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. We'll see mostly cloudy skies. Flurries will fade away. Temperatures down around 10. On Saturday, still a chill in the air, but we should see a few breaks of sun and not looking for any snow on Saturday. That'll be nice. Temperatures in the 20s to near 30. Should be in the low to mid 30s with some increasing clouds on Sunday. I'm Rich Canilia for the Voice of Liberty.
Another house fire this weekend in Steuben County. This one happened in the Steuben County town of Bath on County Route 11 there. It was called in the 4 o'clock hour on Thursday afternoon. The Bath Volunteer Fire Department reports they were assisted by firefighters from Savona, Campbell, Canona, Hammondsport, and Painted Post. According to the Bath Volunteer Fire Department, there were 2 people inside the home at the time of the fire, as well as several animals. All of them, the people and the pets, were gotten out of the house successfully. There were no injuries reported. Also, just like the Canisteo Fire Department reported about the Wednesday night fire, at the Thursday fire in Bath, the Bath Volunteer Fire Department expressed their gratitude to those who came out with hot coffee and chocolate. For the firefighters, I'm Brian O'Neill for the Voice of Liberty.
The Rochester Auto Show, presented by Express Tire Delivery, comes to the Riverside Convention Center for 3 days only, Friday, February 28th through Sunday, March 2nd. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, don't miss your chance to not only see, but get in and feel the latest cars, trucks, SUVs, EVs, or hybrids. Get your single or family discount tickets at Tops Markets. Visit Subaru's pet adoption area. Saturday and Sunday includes face painting, balloon animals, and visits by Red Wings mascots Spikes and Mitzi. For appearance times and tickets, visit therochesterautoshow.com. Rock the show, Rochester.
When you think chicken, think Stearns Poultry Farm Stores. Stearns Poultry Farm.
2.5 minutes.
2 locations: Seneca Street, Hornell, and Route 240,
Okay.
Alfred Station. Stearns, the best chicken in these parts. inside the Taylor Laboratories.
Hey, Tony, what you doing? A little experiment, Zach. Look what I have under the microscope. Ugh, what's that? A sample of indoor air. How can it be that dirty? Don't AC and furnace filters help? Only with dust, Zach. But when Taylor installs a whole house APCO air purifier to detox the air, odors, chemicals, mold, bacteria, and viruses are removed. For clean indoor air. Yep. Ain't science awesome?
Taylor, 500 help.
Your go-to standard of specialized business insurance coverage. MGM Associates of Rochester, now serving the region and beyond in New York. Since 1984, MGM has provided leading coverage from a wide range of carriers. Not only home, condo, boat, motorcycle, and auto, but also specialized policies for all types of businesses, including nonprofits and law firms, livery insurance, property insurance, and bonds for all needs. MGM Associates of Rochester provides auto, workers' comp, healthcare, and liability insurance. Choose from virtual appointments or good old in-office, in-person consults by appointment at our Penfield office. 5-time consecutive winner of the National Best Practices Award. MGM is proud to support veterans groups. For your personal, business, home, or professional insurance needs, meet the experienced staff at MGM Associates, locally and proudly owned at 1745 Penfield Road.
Okay, we have Aisha. I told her you were going to have me play about a minute's worth of that song. And then I told her we'd go to her after you come back.
Salvatore's Pizza. Why Salvatore's? We use the highest quality ingredients in all our menu items. Spotless, clean locations. A local family supporting our local community. Full menu delivery. And yeah, we deliver everything but babies. We purchase all our supplies locally from Palmer's. Online ordering at salvatores.com and our hotline 234-5555. So we have an amazing staff. Salvatores.com.
And now open the newest Salvatore's location in Churchville Village.
Dependable Disposal offers weekly residential trash and recycled tote service. Dependable Disposal, local business, local people you know. Call Dependable Disposal 585-505-1500. Let's see what we can do for you.
There's more to drive than 25. The Rochester
Last spot.
Express Tire Delivery comes to the Riverside Convention Center for 3 days only. Friday, February 28th through Sunday, March 2nd. Come shop for your next car, truck, SUV, EV, or hybrid.
You're welcome.
Setting. Get your single or family discount tickets today at Tops Markets. Friday includes a free raffle where 10 winners will be chosen to receive a $500 voucher toward the purchase of a vehicle at any RADA franchise new car dealer. For tickets and details, visit therochesterautoshow.com and rock the show, Rochester.
Peter Vasquez and Next Step Show on the WYSL stations.
Out there in the cold, getting lonely, getting old, can you feel me? Hey you, standing in the aisles with itchy feet and fading smiles, can you feel me? Hey you, don't help them to bury the light.
You're on.
Welcome back to the Next Step Show, ladies and gentlemen. And absolutely, Mira, don't give up without a fight. You know, there's something about Pink Floyd's song, especially this one, that I've always enjoyed because he's talking to you, right? That person that likes to sit in the back and watch, or the person that just doesn't feel comfortable coming to the front como quiera. Pero mira, don't let them use you to bury anything. Hold them accountable. Senora Aisha Kreutz, thank you for calling the show, ma'am.
Hey.
How you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, my little sister. Man, I miss you on the show sometimes.
I miss being on the show.
I know.
We're gonna not been on the show.
We're gonna have to scoop you in for a show or two because we also got to do the whole free soup.
I know. I should just record them or something and send them in or something. I don't know. I wish I was closer so that we could do more. But yeah.
So you are or were, I'm assuming you still are, in Washington D.C. Am I correct?
No, we drove home actually last night after we left the White House. We just had to come home. My husband had his father-daughter dance today, so we had to make sure we got home in time for him to get his sleep and then go to his dance tonight. So.
Oh, that's sweet, father-daughter dance. I miss those days. I really do.
Yeah.
My kids are old and grown and grumpy, and they got their own kids and so on.
No, he's making them. They go. My 26-year-old and the grandkids. Yeah.
So Aisha, you were in Washington, and yesterday you were there to attend an event that was hosted by our super great presidency, the Honorable Donald Trump. What was it?
So
I saw you on TV, by the way.
You did?
Yeah.
Back my
Sorry.
head or something.
Tell the listeners where you were.
So yeah, Trump. They had a Black History Month celebration, and just invited people, regular people from around the country to attend. And so it was at the White House. It was awesome.
In the White House?
We got to spend 4 hours in the White House. Great food, reception. It was just a celebration of, again, for Black History Month. I know Black History Month is canceled, but it was great. It was a good time.
History Month is not canceled.
Got to be 5 feet away from him, and he's just such a gracious type of guy.
He's the kind of guy that makes all the little the little devils cringe and go crazy.
Yeah, it was down to earth. He addressed everybody. There was probably about maybe 200 of us in the room, and some people that I knew, some that I didn't. People we all just got to mingle, meet, and really, a lot of social media influencers, which was funny because I don't know a lot of those guys. I recognized their face. It was embarrassing too. What was the one guy's name? David Harris Jr. I guess everybody knows. I know this now, right? I mean, I knew who he was, but I was next. I was like, I know your face. It was kind of like that type of thing. Everybody kind of all around the country. From California to New York. And I mean, I'm nobody. I'm just do my thing and try and make the world a better place. And you have the honor of going to the White House. Not a lot of people get that. So
yeah, I thought the buffoon
it.
locked it down during his administration. I thought the White House was inaccessible.
No, yeah, I'm just a regular person, and all the people that we all work hard to try and save our state, our country. I mean, it was really a moment. I think that's why it's thought about for everybody. All of us that are always just working really hard. I think because even though I work mostly behind the scenes, campaigns, different things like that. But you're not. It's really just for the little guy, and I appreciated that.
So you do
give the opportunity.
You do understand when you say you work behind the scenes, then that kind of implies that people don't know you, right? The thing is this. Everybody knows Aisha Kreutz, so you can't be too far behind the scenes. Aisha, tell me, I saw, and this was kind of cool, okay? Tiger, this is again, I'm referring back, I saw it on TV. Tiger Woods was there. And Trump seemed almost giddy that he was there. It was kind of funny to watch because he kept it was weird. He was getting smiled. He actually looked much younger, too. But what was all that about? What was the purpose of Tiger Woods going there? Because I have to assume that many in the left are thinking, look at him, using all these black people just to make himself look like he's, a person who likes black people. But did you feel any of that? Did Tiger Woods feel or look like he was forced there or paid there?
No, actually, what was amazing, too, I was talking about the other people there. I mean, I think because Trump is such a golfer, I know he golfed, Mar-a-Lago, all that. So I think he really was honored that Tiger Woods was there. But it wasn't just, the media only is doing Tiger Woods, but he shared the podium again. The David Harris Jr. guy, there was a Leo second. And he just called people out of the crowd, that have really been to court, and said, hey, come up here. And they shook their hands and stood next to him and was like, thanks so much for your support. And that was, he could, like Tim Scott, some of the other Congress people were there. He could have just had all of them go up there and do it, but he didn't. You know what I mean? And that was pretty classy. And I do want to say there was one moment where I loved it. As black folks, we'd just be holding it down, I guess. No, but he called out the head of Pfizer and was like, oh, yeah, great business person. Whole room booed for 45 seconds. It was like, no, we're not putting up with that.
But I heard large cheers when he was, and I have to assume he's joking around, kind of like when he mentioned something about being king. He's got to be messing with these leftists, right? But he said, how about I run again, run for a third term? And everybody cheered.
Yeah, that was beautiful. It was like a joke, you know what I mean? Like, it was good. You could tell he was like, he knew he was going to put the other side on their heels and they're going to use it, It's who he is, and everyone in the room loved it. They were like, yeah,
I think he does it.
More like a cheering. Yeah.
I think he does it intentionally to pick on Kathy Hochul because she tends to run with a lot of those things.
Absolutely. And you could tell, and the people in the room knew it, and we all were just like, yeah, they were, run again. I can't remember what the chant was. And it was funny, I just got to tell you, because, the energy in the room was amazing because it was a lot of young people. I'm old. I literally realized yesterday I was old because, I was kind of up front, because I was like, oh, okay, everyone's going up there. I'll go do that, thinking it is not a young, it's not for old people. And I'm up there going, why am I standing up here again? Why am I not sitting back here? And these, all these folks, young people, and they're like, yeah, we're going to save the country. You know what I mean? And it was just amazing. They talk about, nobody pays us to be there, right? We spend our money to go and to be there. And all of these, college students, all of these people who are just, I don't know, he attracts a very eclectic crowd, lots, there was some swearing and different stuff like that, but whatever.
Swearing, again, it goes back to the culture thing I keep talking, Aisha. It just, you've got legislators, you've got even, I've heard pastors swearing during sermon. I'm like, what are you doing? So Aisha, tell me, this was Black History Month celebration specifically, to celebrate that. However, I've noticed in some other Black History event months, Black History Month events that I've been to, there just seems to be a lot more white people. So tell me, was this a room full of if they turned off the light, you couldn't see the person next to you? Or was it the, kind of like the surveys that some of these jokers do here locally where they're like, wow, they did these surveys and Black America says this. And then you look at the people surveyed and they were like 90% white.
Yeah, no, it was, again, there's about 200 people there. I'd say maybe 5, 6 people were white. My husband was one of them. I was like, great, I'm bringing the token white guy, you know what I'm saying? But, my husband's been a huge Trump supporter. And again, a lot of the things that I couldn't do without him. And it was more for him, because you didn't know. I kind of, I hold Trump accountable when I think he doesn't do something right, and again, those people were like, oh, you got to agree with 100%. No, and there were some other people too, that's what you do. You have to speak truth to power. And so when things are good, you tell them they're good. When they're bad, and I don't think there's a problem with that. I don't think that Trump actually has a problem with that. But anyway, mostly it was all black people, it's just be black.
Aisha, hang on, don't hang up, okay? Give me 1 second. I want to ask you one more question. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, en el teléfono yo tengo a la señora Aisha Kreutzmina. We'll be right back, right here from Peter Vasquez to Conservative New Rican on the Voice of Liberty. Yep, best station in the entire universe.
And it couldn't be found. I was so far down that I couldn't get up, and one day I was one of life's losers. My friends, my accusers, and in my head, lost before I could go everything, but it turned to dust.
I'm Greece Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Joe Robach. If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber. We are the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we are better.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Your business forward.
Time flies when you're having fun, huh?
Call 585-227-7.
Yeah, we have less than 10 minutes left. So if you want, I'll give you a 3, 2, and then the music. You got it.
Only available in the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com. Official top quality tees, hoodies depicting the colorful WYSL logo or the already famous Mount Rushmore line of merch depicting Mount Rushmore style are for worst presidents. Of course, you know who is front and center up on that mountain. WYSL official items make perfect gifts, or they're a great way for you to make a personal statement. Locally produced and sold only in the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality servicing, all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
Next steps with Peter Vasquez on the WYSL station.
You know what I'm taking pride. Cold beer on a Friday night.
Por seguro, un poquito de pollo frito never goes wrong. Sí, pero mira, let me share this with you. See, un poquito words of wisdom from your conservative New Rican Peter Vasquez says, a nation's strength lies not in wealth, but in those who bear its burden. Mira, caregivers, workers, and leaders who stand in the fire. From birth to battles over rights, from labor struggles to power shifts, resilience defines who we are. Injustice thrives in silence. So speak, lead, and endure. Welcome back to the Next Step Show, ladies and gentlemen. See, Aisha Kreutz, gracias for hanging out with me for En Segundo or Dos. All right, you ready for the last question, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, from what I want to know, in this illustrious Black History Month celebration hosted at the White House, where regular folks like you and I would be able to go to, as it should be, because it's the people's house. What is one quote, I guess, that you can share with us that you heard from President Trump or anybody else that spoke at that event? What can you share?
One quote that I could share that from the event that President Trump gave.
Or someone.
Oh man. I think, you know what? I think it was, I used it a little bit earlier, and I want to say, that, they lost.
I know.
We don't. Spot, so. I know you did. That we pay to come. We paid to go to see Trump. We paid to go to the White House. He doesn't pay people to come to his rallies. He doesn't pay people to come and try to be part of this movement, kind of that he's creating, right? They try to make it out like that. That's something that the left does. And I just, that really kind of stuck with me to see. Because, again, a lot, you're talking regular people here, right? Mm-hmm. Putting their money on the line to be able to have the opportunity, that a lot of people will never get. And I think that is very humbling. And to see some people, right? Deneen Borelli, Tim Scott, all these people who, they didn't have to be there either. And, we sacrificed our time in order to try and make something better for America. Yeah. And I guess that would kind of be the quote. I can't think of one specifically that, Trump gave. I think for that, it was just more the fact that he shared the podium with so many people, that, calling people up. And I just appreciate it. There was one, Alice Johnson, who, he had commuted her sentence, because she had, basically gotten life in prison for, something that she should have got in trouble for it, but not. And
didn't he appoint her
like,
to a position?
Yeah, it's funny. We talk about the quote Trump. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna be my pardon czar."
Yeah,
and it was hilarious. Like we were all laughing, and that was what kind of like was cool. Was that it wasn't like this stuffy room of people just being like, "Oh, I'm in awe," right? It was this back and forth and conversation, and I think that is. It made me have a better time than what I had anticipated. So I just want to say,
go ahead.
Oh, you know what? Hey, wait! I do want to one quote. He said, I remember the first time I ran. He was like self-deprecating, but I remember the first time I ran and kind of did this. He goes, "There's like 5 black people in the room. This is awesome." Like the whole room is so. Now, and he was just pointing out the difference. That was funny, too. So I'll stop now and let you get on with your show.
No. That was great, Aisha. Listen, I am a little jelly because I wasn't there. I would have made a great show.
I would have brought you all.
No. But tell me this though: did you book Trump on the Next Step show?
No, but I will do my best to try and help make that possible.
We will. Listen. Benjamin Netanyahu will be on the Next Step show, ladies and gentlemen. Watch. You see. Just give me some time. President Trump will be on this show. Just give me some time. We'll make it happen. Yeah. Why did? And you know what, Aisha? You know why I believe that so wholeheartedly? Because of those are two.
Work so hard?
Huh?
I was going to say, because you work so hard?
Well, that too, but you do too. But the thing is this: I could work all I want, but if they are not willing, those are two men of the people. I don't understand why people dislike them both so much. Aisha
Kreutz, said it.
We love you.
Well, and again, there's so many things that can go wrong, right? And again, you read the book of Revelation, we know. But we are aware, we go in with our eyes open, and we understand that. But for the people, by the people. And when you have people that are leading that are like that, you have to take advantage of it, and you have to hold them accountable at the same time, because it's very easy to get caught up on it with it from both sides of the aisle, or both sides of that coin.
Absolutely. And hey, I'm gonna share one thing, because on the last time you called the show when we had Jeff Briggs on, you said something that I thought was the most. It's been on my mind ever since. You said, if you look at something like a gorilla or something of the kind, and the first thing you think of is a black person, you got problems. Let me ask you a question. In Washington, when you were there, 200 people or more.
3 minutes.
Did you in any way, shape, or form feel like a monkey or a gorilla or mocked or being used as political fodder?
Absolutely not. I felt like it was pure appreciation, understanding that, again, and Trump did say that, he was like, you're the people, right, that have been out there and helping to push, he couldn't have done it without a lot of the people that were in the room. And again, I know you said earlier, everybody knows you. Everybody might know me like in the Monroe County area, but not everywhere. You know what I mean? Like some of the people that were in that room, these are, good people that have just been all out for Trump, and my husband was one of the reasons I went was, my husband, I did it for him, more so even for myself, because he allows, again, it's him who allows me to be out there doing the things that I do. And I couldn't do it without him. And he
2 minutes.
has been out there really, Trump supporter. And those are the people that were in the room, and they deserve to be in the room. And obviously you can't have everybody. And that's why I think each one of those people represented so many other people that are there that have been working hard as well. So when you see somebody in there that I think all of you guys should take pride and, be like, yes, because it was really for you. And I think that Trump kind of embodies that and knew that.
Aisha Kreutz, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Next Step show. Aisha, we love ya. Is the FDF website still up? Real quick, I only got seconds left. So what's the website they can learn more about the great things that the Frederick Douglass Freedom Alliance is doing? That's
FDF and then alliance.org. is where you can learn more about the Frederick Douglass Freedom Alliance. It's still Frederick Douglass Foundation. We just had to change the name. And again, you know, presidents, when they usually have these Black History Month, to your point, they have the ruling class in there. This was for the people, and that's the difference.
That was Aisha Kreutz, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time. Mita, real quick, Armando says, hey, it's all about American history as it should be. Whatever happened to it, and how about life? Hey, Mita, forget the other bull stuff, right? Because it is about this. Be a leader, be a leader, be a leader, and more importantly, right? Don't let a second go by that you are not at least trying to be a voice of liberty. See, God bless these United States of America.
You're clear.
Soy cara de niño, con alma de hombre. Quiero amarte para siempre, pero tú no me respondes. Soy cara de niño, con alma de hombre. Ven, conóceme de reto, y hay amor pa' que te sobre.
Are you new to town and resorting